These packaging machines being built in Istanbul will be shipped to American fast food chains. But by the time they reach US ports, they could be subject to higher duties. That's after Washington removed Turkey and India from its generalized system of preferences program. It's a 40-year-old program meant to give 120 developing economies a boost by allowing the duty-free import of certain products. The move seemed to blindside officials in both countries.
We were expecting that we would be exempt, but unfortunately Turkey with India no longer has preferential status.
I think if it is imposed, which I am hopeful it will not be, then we will become to that extent uncompetitive. Indian products will become uncompetitive.
Washington says India's removal from the list is in retribution for the high tariffs it imposes on US goods. And it says Turkey is no longer a developing economy, so it's not eligible for duty waivers.
An increase in gross national income per capita, declining poverty rates, and export diversification by trading partner and by sector are evidence of Turkey's higher level of economic development.
The move is the latest in a series of trade barriers that have been imposed in recent months. Back in August, US President Donald Trump doubled import duties on Turkish steel and aluminum. Turkey challenged the higher tariffs at the World Trade Organization and won in December, but Washington hasn't complied with the ruling, and now it's ending preferential trade terms for Turkish exports worth $1.7 billion. It's expected to hit some automotive part makers, farmers, and the gems and jewelry sector.
We will have to pay about $63 million in additional custom duties, but it will affect small and medium manufacturers in the US more than Turkey's businessmen.
Both Ankara and New Delhi say they'll continue efforts to increase the exchange of goods and services with the US. But the WTO warns global trade is slowing, and more barriers in the world's largest market can only worsen this trend. Mobin Nasir, TRT World.
Well, joining me in the studio is Taha Arvas, a financial columnist at Turkey's daily Sabah newspaper. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. So explain to us what exactly has happened and why has President Trump chosen to do this now?
I think it's interesting that this timing comes just as the United States and China are in the midst of a trade war. I think the measure that we're talking about here was very small relative to Turkey's total trade with the United States. So in my estimation, I think it might be a message to China, to both China and India. To China, as in this is helping you out because China's biggest potential competitor is India. So it's appeasing China in that respect, but also it's letting India know that this isn't just a step against you. See, there are other countries in the mix, and it's a very small gesture towards Turkey.
So what will the effects be on Turkey's economy and also on India's?
For Turkey, it's almost nothing. It's a drop in the bucket relative to the total trade that it does overall and even with the United States. For India, it's a little more serious. And it might be, if this is a harbinger of things to come for India, then it's a lot of trouble for India. So who knows where it will go, but the trade between the United States and China dwarfs that with India. So I think this is Trump just maneuvering during the trade wars with China. That's all I think it is, really.
So how will it affect the relationship between the countries, between Turkey and the United States?
I think that's a different story. I don't think it will negatively affect the relationship with Turkey and the United States because it's such a small measure. But the question is it indicative of what's going to come in the future? Does it have anything to do with Jared Kushner's weekend meeting in Turkey? Who knows? We just don't know. It's been several months coming, but it'll be interesting to see what, if any, steps follow this. I don't think there will be future steps, frankly, but we're going to have to wait and see, I guess.
Well, this is what I was going to ask you. Of course, there is some background here. There has been a slight trade spat up until now, but do you think we will see anything further, any kind of escalation?
I don't really think so. I mean, this depends very much on Trump's total situation. I mean, he's begun the 2020 elections are now in full swing, so he needs stories to come up constantly. He has these Michael Cohen testimony, and he has other things that he's dealing with. So I think he has to look strong for his base. So I think the actions like this will follow all around the world. I mean, obviously Venezuela, et cetera. These are all things that are developing. So I think it's just one of his measures to show that it's America first that he's really going after, as he likes to say.
So with one trade war potentially coming to an end, you think he might cultivate another, perhaps?
Absolutely.
To keep his fan base happy?
Absolutely. I think there will be trade wars, if you will, between now and the election. He's going to do whatever he can to deliver results to the people that he promised. He would go after China. He would have to go after. He said we'd be winning on trade all over the world. So he has to deliver, at the very least, for headlines. And he's been successful in doing that so far. And he's got another 6 months here or a year before the election is in full swing. And he has to, like I said, deliver on his promises.
Okay, Taha Arvas, the financial columnist at Turkey's daily Sabah newspaper. Thank you very much indeed for being with us.